Alright guys, welcome back. This is lesson 9.4. Oh man, please don't turn the video off. I know you're seeing geometry up there, but yes, this is Algebra 2, I promise you. And we need this for the unit that we're starting, which is the trigonometry unit, okay? So we're going to go back to some things you learned in geometry. We're going to do Pythagorean Theorem first, and then we're going to do the special right triangles, okay? So sorry for the bad news, but you know, it's all related, okay? All right, hey, at least it's easy though, okay? Easy is good. All right, so the first thing you need to copy down is what you see in yellow, okay? C squared equals A squared plus B squared. You've heard it a million times. Remember, the one that's king, the most important, is the value of C. C is always the biggest value, it's the hypotenuse. So if you're given a right triangle, find the 90 degrees and jump across from it, opposite of it, that's always your hypotenuse. Then the other two, the two that come together make the 90-degree angle, those are your legs, okay? It doesn't matter who's leg A, who's leg B, the only one that matters in that diagram is that C has to be the biggest side of the hypotenuse. You've done this a million times, but let's just run through just to make sure that you're good. Okay, so looking at example 1 over here, matter of fact, why don't we just slide that and zoom in on that baby. Might as well make this, supersize this as much as possible. Hope it all is well. Hopefully SB's working out for you. You're finding the videos, the worksheets. Okay, so here's 90 degrees. So when you jump across from it, it's hypotenuse. So I'm just going to change C to be X. You can leave it C if you want to, all right? Then the 4 and the 8 come together and make that 90, so those are the legs. Put 4 wherever you want, A or B, it doesn't matter. Put 8, A or B. We already made that one A, so I guess 8's going to be B. When you get here, you're going to square these numbers, not double them. So now you have x to the second power equals 4 times 4 is 16, and 8 times 8 is 64, okay? Keep the x squared, and now we're going to total this up. So when the hypotenuse is missing, you're going to be adding up the legs after you square it. 64, 70, and this is 80. All right, hit the square root button, hit the square root button. Here's my old faithful calculator that I love so much. And hit the square root. Hopefully you can find the square root on your toy. And by all means, can you use your cell phone calculator? Love it. All right, and I got 8.94, and I'm just gonna round it to money. Okay, talk to me, okay? Notice, I told you the hypotenuse, C has to be the biggest side. Well, look, 8.94, that's almost 9. That's bigger than 8, that's bigger than 4. So that's kind of a good way you can check. Your answer for your hypotenuse has to be larger than both legs. All right, hey, we got nothing better to do. Let's try another one. So example 2 over here, okay? And the neat thing about this theorem is, you know, it's only for right triangles, and it's only when they give you 2 of the 3 sides, okay? You're only going to use Pythagorean Theorem for right triangles only, and when 2 sides are given. If they don't give you 2 sides, if they only give you 1, then we're going to use trig, which we've done before. Okay, first thing I would do, actually I need to erase. Wow, come on Mr. Mac. Okay, so 24, look, straight across from the 90 degrees. So 24 is your hypotenuse, it's your biggest side, put it in for C. 22 is one of the legs, just put it in A. And then X here, we'll just make, don't freak out if we change the letters. It's an unknown X, it's an unknown B. You know, you can use letters A through Z, it doesn't matter as long as you know that it's one of the legs. We're going to square 24 and we get 576. You're going to square 22 and you're going to get 484. Now, everything we do in here turns into those equations you learned freshman year. It's just the way math is. Look, you need to get x squared by itself. That 484 is with that unknown, so this is why you're going to subtract. Okay, you're going to subtract 484 from both sides. Or if you're missing a leg, I know this is kind of weird, if you're missing a leg, it got subtracted off. When you're missing a leg, you're going to subtract. What am I trying to say? 576, take away 484, all right? Gave me the great answer of 92, and and I'm going to set it equal to my x squared. To undo an x squared, you're going to square root both sides, all right? And here we go, square root of 92, and I get an answer of 9.59. Now I'm going to go ahead and write it over here because I want to show you something. Who was the king out of this story? It was the hypotenuse, okay? 24 has to be the largest, it's bigger than 22, and look, it's bigger than 9.59, okay? Also, if you want to play with another thing you learn in geometry, the two smallest sides, when you add it, has to be larger than the third. And 22 and 9.59 would be, let's see, 9.59 plus 22, that's a total of 31.59. So the two smallest sides, when you add it up, it has to be bigger than the third. Just to kind of throw that in there. Okay, this is when it's a right triangle and they've given you both sides. So let's take a look at the next thing we're going to do. Still doing right triangles. We did not have a fun time with this last year in geometry, okay? I can totally remember this. This wasn't, I don't know why it's such a tough topic for a lot of people. This is called special right triangles. All right, the first one is 45, 45, 90, okay? 45, 45, 90 just means these two sides are equal. It's isosceles, okay? So both of the legs, remember those are the legs, are going to be x. You know, they were bored, you know, thousands of years ago when they had no internet and no cell phones, so they figured out this pattern that in any 45, 45, 90 triangle, the legs, if you take it and multiply by the square root of 2, it gives you the hypotenuse. It's just something that you have to memorize, okay? And when I used to show you in class, I used to go leg, leg, and then hypotenuse, and I would write x, x, take x, multiply by the square root of 2. Let me make sure you guys can see that. You literally just have to memorize it, okay? So it's leg, leg, and then leg times the square root of 2. And you guys could not see that chart, so let me move that baby down over here. So I would go x, x, x times the square root of 2. Okay, that's how you do the 45, 45, 90. It is that simple. All right, let's review the other special right triangle, okay? I know, this is a lot of information. So then the other one was the 30, 60, 90, okay? And you might remember us saying shorter leg, longer leg, okay? All right, so let me zoom this in a little bit better. I like it, come on, zoom, zoom. Okay, first thing you have to remember is there's now three angles, 30, 60, 90. Well, if you go to 30 first and jump across, that's guaranteed to be the shortest side. If you go to 60, that's the middle kid. Jump across 60, that's the middle value. And then like I told you, across from 90 is the hypotenuse. It's always the king, it's always the biggest one. So the first thing I would do is go to 30, jump across, write SL for shorter leg, jump across 60, that's longer leg, and then jump across 90, and that's hypotenuse, okay? Now you're not going to use the 30, okay? The 30 is not going to be plugged in there. It's just, if you know the shorter leg is x, you're going to go x times the square root of 3 for the longer leg. If you know the shorter leg is x, you're going to go x times 2, and that's going to be the hypotenuse. And again, it's just a formula, okay? Something you got to memorize. They just discovered it because they had nothing better to do at that time. Also, square root of 3 is about $1.73 if you round it to the hundredths place. The square root of 2 is $1.41. You know, just in case you want to get like a guesstimate exact answer. All right, let's do a couple problems and see how you're doing. All right, I'm going to start with number 3 over here. All right, let me supersize this baby. Let me erase. So all you got to do, really, first is tell me which one it is. Is it 45, 45, 90, or is it 30, 60, 90? Well, look, I see 90, I see 45. Well, the three angles have to add up to 180. So this is definitely a 45, 45, 90. Go ahead and make your chart. Your chart is X, is one leg, x is the other leg, and then the third leg is x square root of 2. All right, also 45, 45, if this side's 10, this side's 10, and now you're done with x. Look at that. Okay, and the hypotenuse, literally just take 10 and multiply by the square root of 2. Okay, and luckily you're in a higher math class, so you can leave it as 10 square root of 2. If you don't like that, because we don't walk around saying, hey, I'm going to go to Home Depot and buy a piece of wood that's 10 square root of 2 long, you can take 10 and multiply it by $1.41, that's what a square root of 2 is, and you can get an exact answer. Okay? Don't let these letters fool you. That's just how they labeled it. Look, x is 10, and then y is the hypotenuse, 10 square root of 2. Actually, you know what? Let's just do that really quick, just so you can see that it does work. All right, I'm going to go square root of 2 times 10. Move that decimal over, and it's 14.14. Okay? All right, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. All right, we got one more, okay? Let's try a 30, 60, 90. They're always a lot more fun, honestly. Let's find a good 30, 60, 91. How about number 7? Yeah. All right, here we go, number 7. We're almost completely in focus. Let me erase. Okay, so the hardest part of this, really, is just labeling. Okay, so let's just go ahead and label. They gave us 27, which is across from the 60. So that means this is the longer leg. Okay, this is 90, jump across from it, that's the hypotenuse. Therefore, if this is 60, this is 90, this has to be 30. So then over here, this is the shorter leg. Okay, definitely 30, 60, 90, because the three angles have to add up to 180. All right, here goes your chart. X is the shorter leg. The middle child, like me, the special one, x square root of 3. And then the hypotenuse is going to be 2x. Okay, so let's go back to 27. Do I put 27 with the shorter leg, the middle leg, the larger leg, or the hypotenuse? Well, it was across from 60, so it's going to go right here. Okay? And all it's going to do is create an equation. Okay? So I'm going to write x times the square root of 3 equals 27. Okay? And we already stated that the square root of 3 was $1.73. So let's just change this to x times $1.73 equals 27. One-step equation, all you're going to do is divide. So I'm going to go 27 divided by 1.73, and you're going to get the answer 15.6. So x is 15.6. Come up here, put 15.6. If x is 15.6, this says double what you just got. And when you double that, you get 31.2. Yep, 15.6 times 2, and you get 31.2. Okay, so 31.2 goes over here. 27 they had already given us, and then the shorter leg was 15.6. What do you notice? The biggest side should be the hypotenuse. Look, the hypotenuse should be the largest one. 31.2 versus 27 versus 15.6. Don't worry about these x's and y's. That's just how this book company labeled it. So 31.2 goes there, and then 15.6 goes there. Right now, I'm just going to do decimal exact answers. I'm going to come back later and then also do it with radicals. All right, this is lesson 9.4. I hope to see you soon.